Ho, 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 guys. Whew. Crypto holders, is it over? Well, there's some crazy shit going on in the markets. We have to talk about it. Charts looking absolutely horrific right now. We're going to talk about those. See if there's any hope. Not a lot in the charts, unfortunately. We're going to talk about all that stuff for you guys. Answer your questions second half of the stream. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. Who's tired of winning? Are you ready to win? No more winning, sir. No. Yeah. Okay. Block News sharing total crypto market has experienced the second worst decrease ever, just one day after its best increase ever, plummeting $350 billion in 24 hours. Brutal. Absolutely brutal, man. Wild markets. Son, pack it up. I just lost the house. Holy crap. Definitely a brutal day in the markets right now. Of course, you don't need me to tell you that. The VIX, the volatility index, has just spiked to 69, the highest since 2020 COVID market crash. Absolute insanity in the stock markets right now. They are hating the Trump tariff news, okay? Absolutely not fans of it at all. Travis Kling saying, is this the most bearish bull market imaginable or the most bullish bear market imaginable? It's true. It's true. The sentiment right now, the market, I mean, just goodness gracious. Look, I know that the stock markets have been taking a bit of a hit recently, but holy shit. Think about all the crazy news that's happened in the last week. And I did a news summary video for you guys yesterday, kind of looking at some of the big stories that happened. You got Citadel coming, you got BlackRock actually adding it to their model portfolios. You got the Strategic Crypto Reserve. You have no taxes on US crypto coin gains, and all this crazy stuff happened, man. Crazy stuff, big news. Market doesn't give a shit right now because equity markets are going risk off. Equity markets are freaking out. Essentially, it's like Trump is carrying out a controlled implosion of the US markets and economy in order to force the Fed to cut rates, to bring long-term bond yields down, to potentially pull off the Mar-a-Lago Accord, all that kind of stuff. Big things are happening, and I think the phrase that we all have to start getting familiar with, short-term pain for long-term gain. So markets could remain relatively irrational for some months to come. Hopefully reverse much sooner than that. Global M2 supply would indicate that sometime around the end of March, we could see markets starting to move up, especially if we get some kind of positive news from the Federal Reserve at their meeting in 2 weeks. Survive until then, guys. Okay. Right now, all the cryptocurrency assets are in very strong downtrends. We've been talking about the downtrend that crypto coins have been in for 2 months now, right? Unfortunately, we haven't seen any really strong breakouts yet. We've had so many false breakout attempts, and everything just gets smashed back down. It's been brutal, absolutely brutal market recently. If, of course, Trump announces at the crypto summit this weekend, or David Sachs announces at the crypto summit this weekend, that they're going to be removing capital gains tax on crypto coins, potentially maybe just US crypto coins, which would be like, you know, Sui, Aptos, XRP, Cardano, stuff like that, then, hey, joke on them. No one's going to have any gains left by the time it comes to sell. Holy crap. Bitcoin Therapist saying, if Trump announces zero capital gains tax on US-based crypto assets, there'll be a surge of capital pouring back into the market. Strap the F in and put your jock strap on. Could dig that. I don't know to what extent the market's going to get wildly excited about no capital gains tax on crypto, especially if it's like, you know, you have to hold for a year, for example, to get no capital gains tax. And it's, you know, it's nice, but it's probably not a game-changing moment, especially when right now no good news moves the markets. Okay. Kyle here is saying, of course, the tariff, this is just some of the tariff news. Trump's 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 20% on China are now officially live. China hits back with 15% tariffs. Canada fires back with 25% tariffs. Mexico set to announce its response on Tuesday. If markets run from here, it's classic short the rumor, buy the news kind of stuff. Don't get caught on the wrong side. High leverage is not your friend right now. Amen to that, guys. Look, I've so far largely been flat the last few days. I didn't rush to buy anything yesterday, and the markets were pumping, and I haven't really rushed to buy anything as markets have been dumping. You know, when I sold my ETH at the start of February, should have just stayed out. Came back in at 27.50, and now it's down another 25% or something since that moment. Anyway, gosh darn it, ETH, the worst asset of the cycle. Holy crap! What a crap show, Ethereum. Vitalik, man, you got to get back on board here and get some bull posting going, man. Anyway, where are we at here? What is somebody selling? Can you recommend a psychiatrist? Oh boy, I know it feels like that right now. I feel like that. The tariff news looks like it gave the stock market a bottom. I expect a nice size bounce from here. I was actually thinking about this, Shahid. And by the way, not sure if you're Muslim or not, but if you are, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem, bro. Anyway, besides the point. What's interesting is that I wonder if all that massive tariff news, will it be digested today by the market and we see a slight bounce in the markets, or is it going to be the opposite? And all that tariff news came late into the markets yesterday, and we're going to wake up today and just puke horrifically on U.S. market open. Place your bets, folks. Place your bets. Place your bets. Come on. We're going to spin the wheel. Holy shit. Tom Lee says market's going to bottom this week. Let's see. Let's see. This tariff news, I mean, it's been the most telegraphed tariffs ever. You got to keep that in mind. Literally, Trump said he was going to do that. Then he did it. And then the market loses their minds when he actually does it. I know it's like a wild thing. A politician actually did something he said he was going to do. Lark, we went back to Goblin Town. I know, Richard. Goblin Town sucks. Goblins suck, man. They drink all your beer and take your girlfriend and shit and don't put gas in their back in your car after they take it out for a ride. I mean, who the heck likes those guys? Anyway. Lark, I've given up. Too much manipulation from Trump camp. What do you think? I'm not giving up. Nope, absolutely not. Look, this too shall pass. I know it's fucking crazy right now, guys. I'm watching the charts too. It's been nuts, and I did not take enough money off the table. Obviously, I took some money, a few things, and if we go to zero from here, I guess I'll be fine. But you know, not multi-intergenerational wealth as I'd been hoping for the bull market cycle. So I still think the best days of this market cycle are ahead of it. Maybe that's just me coping, but I guess we'll find out as we play out the next few months here. But I certainly think over the next, let's say, few weeks to few months, we should expect a lot of headline risk, a lot of volatility, a lot of bounces. And until we see some pretty solid like reclaims of like 20-day and 50-day EMAs on the charts, like all bets are off, right? Until then, we are just strong downtrending without a lot of short-term hope in sight until some of this stuff starts to turn around. And maybe we get a big deal between Canada and the USA or China and the USA, and the war in Ukraine ends. And, well, looks like OPEC's going to be printing a bunch of oil, pumping out a bunch of extra oil. That's going to help with oil prices, helping inflation stay down a little bit. Maybe we get a good CPI print this month with inflation coming back down. Maybe the Fed comes out and says, maybe we're going to do a rate cut, stuff like that. Let's see. You know, there's a lot of fear in the market right now. As we said the other day, it's the most afraid the market has ever been after a 3% correction in equities. And I know crypto's led equities by a lot down, right? We pump massively when equities go up with a beta of, 2 or 3 times for Bitcoin. I guess 0 for ETH because ETH is cursed. Solana having a high beta to the stock market and stuff like that as well. Anyway. Let's continue. M2 money. Yes, I know. M2 money supply is going up, guys. And that is probably going to start hitting the markets in late March, sometime in April. So that would be the big signal to watch out for. And if markets fail to react to that, I mean, geez Louise. Anyway, continuing. Benjamin Cohen here saying, they bring up an interesting parallel. When Reagan took office in 1981, there was some short-term pain through 1982 as they got inflation under control. Here, you can see. But then it led to a massive economic expansion that lasted for decades. Is this what Trump is trying to pull off? Maybe. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, go get yourself an account on BitUnix. No KYC, no VPN, no BS over here at BitUnix. You just click that link down below. You can get $10 for free just for signing up, which is pretty sweet. Use that $10 to go. Just put in a trade, see what happens, right? Experience the exchange. When you deposit some money, you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus, $200 if you put in 1,000, $400 if you put in 2,000. Plus, there's up to $2,000 in trading bonuses that you can claim as well. So go check that out. Link down below if you are a crypto trader and want to trade all the top coins with no KYC, no VPN. Okay, so the price of Bitcoin. Let's talk about it. Just gonna get some water here, the thirsty guys. We're gonna front run the water today. So let's have a look here. Yesterday's chart was absolute insanity. Now, what I was saying yesterday, guys, is we're seeing the price of Bitcoin come here into an area of price resistance. Now, it blasted through the first one. And as I've been saying for a few days, that you need to watch out for a price rejection at sort of 90K zone as a bearish retest. Up to 95K, potential bearish retest, really only confirming a massive trend reversal over $98,000, which of course we didn't get. Now, I did not expect that to be I mean, goodness gracious, look at that red candle, man. That's a trend reversal. I mean, holy shit. What is going on with these markets, man? That is some wild, the price volatility over the last 2 weeks enough to drive anybody absolutely crazy. Okay, so if you're still here, you're still surviving, just pat yourself on the back, man. Give yourself a hug because this is some crazy shit that's going on recently in the markets, okay? So just FYI, all right? Now, look, we will have more relief rallies. That was not the last relief rally that we have. If you are struggling right now, if you're having a really hard time right now and you're absolutely losing your mind over what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets right now, next relief rally, consider taking some money off the table. Erase whatever all-time high your portfolio had. Next time we get a decent relief rally, consider taking a few bucks off the table. You don't have to sell all your, I'm not saying to sell your coins. I mean, you guys do what the hell you want to do with your coins. But next time there's a decent relief rally, if you're too stressed out and you're too deeply invested, you can take a few bucks off the table on the next relief rally. Okay, yeah, you're allowed to do that. I'm not saying it's the best course of action for everybody here or whatever, but anyway. DW, I did not say I sold my Ethereum, although I've been thinking about selling my Ethereum. So just to make that clear there, DW. And ironically, it's not totally about the price. I've been talking about selling my Ethereum for months now. And obviously, like I said, I sold my ETH at the start of February at $3,000 before we plunged down to $2,100. I rebought at $2,750. I thought, maybe the worst is over. Nope, worst was not over. Spoiler alert, the worst was not over. Jeez Louise. Should have just kept it all in cash, man. Just chilled. Kept it in cash and chilled. Anyway, continuing. That's crazy. This is crazy, man. This is wild volatility right now in the charts. Okay, guys. So just FYI. Bitcoin, by the way, looking better than most coins right now, currently sitting around the 200-day EMA, but that's the bull bear line. And it's in the bear zone right now, straight up. No other explanation for price trading below the 200-day EMA. Unless we bounce back out of there ASAP, no bueno, folks. Okay. We want to see price trading above the 200-day EMA, ideally above the 20-day EMA as well, which is, of course, getting closer to the 200-day. So we might get some decent relief rallies where we trade above the 20-day, but still under the 200-day if, of course, prices get worse in the coming days and weeks. So let's see how that plays out. So until we get back over 98K, until we break this downtrend line, until at least we get back over the 20-day EMA, not much to get excited about in terms of trying to trade the breakout or anything like that, okay? Yes, don't trade. Take some time off. We'll be okay. Absolutely, man. A lot of people out here just blowing themselves up right now, trying to revenge trade, trying to make it all back in one trade, taking on too much damn risk, all that kind of stuff. Man, guys, you don't need to do it. Again, I've been largely flat over the past few days. I haven't been buying, haven't really been selling, but I still might sell my ETH, man. I don't know. If it goes under 2K, just like, just the most disappointing damn asset that you can imagine. Like, I've been holding this position for years. It's like 8x profits right now, right? So it'd be fine. It's not like it'd be the worst thing ever. Just reallocate that money back into other altcoins over the next couple months. Anyway, that's just because ETH's been so damn disappointing. I mean, obviously the current price action plays into it, but the current price action is showing how disappointing Ethereum has been this entire cycle. It's been crazy. Solana for the win, which I did not take a position in early, unfortunately. Anyway, continuing. Ethereum. Look at this. Man, it is trying. It's desperate, man. ETH's just like, please, man, please, market makers, don't let me go under $2,000. Let's see how we go. Sean says, I haven't bought anything since December. Where's the guy? What about I sold ETH years ago. Holy smokes, you're still hanging. I know. Well, there was a day when ETH was a good coin to hold. That has not been the case for a very long time, man. It's been pretty rough. Anyway, continuing. ETH, same situation. Now we came back up to the 20-day EMA. So that was, momentarily kind of like, oh, maybe something's going to happen here. But again, so I was talking about yesterday, rejection levels. We got back up to this key rejection point right here. So we got smacked down both at the previous support, which is now price resistance, and the 20-day EMA. Crikey. Let's watch out for any relief rallies that come in to, again, potentially get rejected here in this $2,500 zone. $2,500 is the bare minimum just for something to start happening with Ethereum in the next, days. Continuing. Great thoughts here from Nagato. He says, no secret that Trump has a massive ego. On multiple occasions, he called himself the crypto president. He went so far as claiming that he was the one who pushed Bitcoin to $100,000. Do you really think he's going to let the market nuke into oblivion right after he started bull posting about it so he can look like a loser to the whole planet? I highly doubt it. My view hasn't changed. No other scenario makes sense to me at the moment. Don't get me wrong. Price can stay volatile over the next few weeks. There's still potential liquidity to be taken on the downside. That's just part of the game. After the short-term noise, I still believe we're about to witness a giant master plan of a rug. This view also aligns with on-chain data, big players accumulating, etc. Flesh capital. Yeah, it's almost like it. Geez Louise. Fresh capital will start flowing into crypto. The market will reverse higher. It'll attract an F ton of newcomers. It'll go mainstream as hell. We'll get the blow off top. Right? Imagine when the U.S. launches a crypto reserve, man. It's going to be crazy, okay? Be absolutely nuts. Insiders will make billions. Normal people will get annihilated. Some of you might say, that's exactly what's happening right now. I don't think so. Nobody outside of us crypto nerds is even paying attention to this shit show of an industry yet. Largely true. There's been some momentary blimps of people, normies, coming back into the market. But for the most part, it's just been us here, guys, getting our asses kicked. Round and round again. It's been a good time. So that's not helpful verse. This is why I believe higher prices for a sustained period of time and mainstream attention are two ingredients that are still missing. Why rug some crypto degenerate holders when you can rug half the world? Dream bigger, guys. Dream bigger. Trump's going to rug the whole world. It'll be great. Everyone's getting so rugged. I know a man who had a rug store one time, the best rugs, most beautiful rugs. I said, how do you make these rugs? He said, look, Don, we got the best rugs around here. You have to just pull it and everything goes. Anyway, I like this thesis. And look, short-term pain, long-term gain. If Trump pulls off what he's trying to pull off, and it's all about macro right now, okay? It doesn't matter. Every positive crypto news story is getting nothing happening to it. Every positive news story, down. Been rough. Where are we at? What happened to Fartcoin, Lark? Why did you sell? Well, I sold because I didn't want to take the risk of it going to absolute oblivion. I still like Fartcoin, by the way. So I lost money on that. It's fine. I flipped my Brett, which was in big profits, to Fartcoin. Lost most of the profits from Brett. It's fine. It is what it is. It's all good. I actually still like Fartcoin as a potential meme whenever risk comes back on, because it still, at this point, is getting huge amounts of interest. So we'll see how long that keeps up. But obviously, memes are the far end of the risk spectrum, and I'd prefer not to have that high level of risk until we see some. This is the thing. You might see risk turns around. Fartcoin pumps 100%, breaks the 20-day EMA, and then you've got a better entry, a safer entry, quote unquote, because you might actually have a market reversal on your hands versus trying to time the bottom, catch knives, all that kind of stuff. People getting chopped up doing this, man. I'd rather just chill in a bit of cash, relax. Again, keeping the Bitcoin and all that stuff. But Lark sold my entire portfolio a week ago, basically broke even. Well, you beat a lot of people. Let's put it that way. Feels like a win. It is a win. Even though it kind of sucks, I'm sure you round-tripped a lot of gains there, but looking to re-enter position. Is now a good time to buy or still too risky first cycle? Look, David, when you sold last week versus the prices right now, it's not that big of a difference. And I don't know how it's going to play out over the next few days, few weeks. We'll see. Will the equity markets continue their panic over the tariff situation? Will it all blow over? Will it not be that big of a deal? What's the Fed going to do in 2 weeks? How's the CPI going to look? All that kind of stuff starts coming into play here, okay? Anyway, let's see how we continue to play out over the next few days here, see what happens. But think about where good entry points would be, right? But the tricky part is that markets can remain very irrational until we do that. Everybody wants to be quick to call a bottom, right? But so far, we have intense macro fears that are driving markets, and crypto tends to get hit hardest in this situation. Now, maybe we bounce big time today on US equity market open and it's all over, but probably not. There's still a lot of headline risk that will continue to probably affect the markets for at least a few weeks, especially until we see what the Fed says and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of where we're at right now for the markets. So good time to buy or not? Hard to say, man. Hard to say. You know, if you are able to, let's say, dollar cost average into positions and keep sort of a solid time frame where you're going to say, okay, you know, I've got, let's see what happens over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and I'm willing to accept volatility to the downside, because this is the thing. It's going to mess with you now. You got out of break even. You've already said to yourself, well, I'm not willing to accept that downside volatility. Trying to perfectly nail the bottom becomes a tricky thing to do, because you might buy today thinking, okay, prices are really low. Tomorrow, prices go lower. And then you go, shit, should have stayed in cash, and it'll start messing even more. So maybe dollar cost averaging in on these dump days would be a slower way to sort of dip your toes back into the market a little bit. Not financial advice, obviously, just, you know, some thoughts up here for you. Okay, continuing. The others chart looking super cooked as well, unsurprisingly. Stochastic RSI starting to bottom out, but you can see that last time it bottomed out and then we still ground down gargantuanly. So, you know, just not always the best signal there. MACD trending down. This is the weekly chart here, by the way. You can see right here, trading under the 50-week EMA, the 20-week EMA, 200-week EMA down here at $200 billion, guys. Last line of support. It's only $30 billion down. Shit. Let's see how we go. Currently sitting at a key area of price support, previous resistance. Let's see if we can bounce there or not. Cardano, like a lot of other coins, faced a pretty big rejection yesterday, though I put the weekly chart up here so you can see still above the 20-week EMA, which is actually relatively bullish, one of the better looking charts in the market right now. So just FYI. Obviously, we retraced the whole move yesterday, hit into that area of price resistance as we were talking about yesterday, came back down and hit that 80-cent buy zone I was talking about. Now, it did blast under that to around 75 cents, and, you know, buying here at 80 cents or something like that is, you know, hitting a bit different sentiment-wise than buying at $1 yesterday, when it felt like more like, oh, shit, America's going to do something with crypto, and now we're going to have a breakout. Didn't happen. Hard rejection at resistance again. Currently sitting right above key moving averages. So as long as Cardano stays above sort of 75 cents, it's in a decent zone. But it will not be immune to any further sell-off in the market, okay? Just FYI. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the XRP chart as well. XRP chart on the weekly actually looks pretty decent. 20-week EMA still holding up. Daily, not quite as hot, to be honest, but still much closer to the EMAs than most coins you're going to look at on the chart right now. So it's definitely one of the stronger ones, and didn't completely reverse yesterday's pump candle, just mostly. Crap. Solana weekly chart looking pretty damn rough, man. Let's keep that real. Way under the exponential moving averages right now. Daily chart also not offering much hope under basically all the major EMAs as well. Strong rejection yesterday here at the 20-day EMA breakout attempt. Completely retraced yesterday's move. Litecoin getting in a pretty dangerous zone here for me. I said when I entered this trade, if it starts, you know, getting acceptance under $100, I might cut it and just take the L, even though I still think that ETF thesis has a very strong chance of playing out. So I'd look to re-enter in that situation. But let's see. Weekly MACD bearish crossover looking to come into play here as well, which is not super damn awesome if you ask me. 1-day charts here. Lost the 20 and 50-day EMAs, currently sitting right at the 200-day EMA. That lines up about $100. That, again, bull bear line right here. Okay. Let's answer some of your questions. I want to answer some questions as we go through. Okay. So the presentation was a little bit longer today than we would usually do. Okay. Looks like exactly as I said, it's over for this bull market. You know, it's an interesting thought. I was thinking about this today. You know, functionally, how long this market correction, this dump lasts is an interesting question, because I still think we go on to 150, 250K, something like that, later this year after Trump's done rearranging the economy, let's say. But functionally, that short term over the next few months, local top back in December, early January, to what extent does it matter where the rest of the cycle goes? Short term, feeling pretty cooked, right? Lark, what are your top 5 AI coins that you're bullish on? Look, I think altcoins right now, especially AI coins, are on the pretty far end of the risk spectrum here, if we're being honest about it. So these are probably the ones that are going to be most reflective and bounce back pretty hard when market goes back risk on. But also right now, you're taking a pretty big risk by just trying to jump into a bunch of AI coins right now. Because if we see further sell-off, they're probably also going to get hit the hardest. You know, Bitcoin might fall another 10%, just an example, but your AI coins in that situation probably drop into 50%. Okay. That being said, I still like AI 16Z. I still hold that. Cerebro, the bag's just down so bad, I thought, screw it. Goes to zero. C'est la vie. I have 2 kidneys, but only one opportunity to buy bread at 3.5 cents. Keep your kidneys, man. Keep your kidneys. Somebody asked about radium. I think radium is going to take a big hit because Pump.fun, whenever people start aping into meme coins again, Pump.fun's got their own decentralized finance services now. They don't need radium anymore, and they're not going to use radium anymore. And that was probably one of Radium's biggest source of revenue, or one of their biggest sources of revenue coming in. So long term, Radium's still probably going to do pretty good with its buybacks and stuff like that. Short term, they need to find some new funding sources. Lark, I feel like this time is obviously different than previous cycles. I mean, think about it. Every time Trump bull posts something, it crashes. Even worse after a fake pump, like the meme U.S. reverse to say, yeah, it's been pretty rough, man. Pretty rough. He did the do thing. I guess I just did. I wasn't even thinking about it. You love questioning where that. Yeah. Yep. Lark, do you think Polkadot will have its time this bull run? I don't know. We'll see what happens, to be honest. I think Polkadot's one of those coins that struggles to have that really sort of nice, clean narrative that people can get behind. So let's see. I mean, there's plenty of bullish technical upgrades and stuff coming, but the price action's been absolutely redonkulous. Even before the recent sell-off, the price action had been pretty Ethereum-like. Let's say, oh, geez, ETH. Just cut that ETH bag, man. Again, just it's been so disappointing. And so disappointing. USI Tech. Isn't that the name of some Ponzi scam from back in the day? I swear that was the name of some Ponzi scam from back in the day. Is that back again? Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since people asked me about any of these Ponzi scam things. They used to be just all over the place. It was like the big thing in 2018, 2019, these sort of on-chain Ponzi scheme trading bullshit scams. Is that the one? Is that the one? I feel like that was one of those ones. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something else. Okay. Do you think 7 March will be sell the news event, or we rally from there? Well, you know, normally there's a buy the rumor in advance to that. There's no buy the rumor currently. There's dump the rumor, dump the news, dump everything, dump the dumping. It's brutal, man. It's brutal. Look, they would need to come out with something pretty damn big on March 7th. And I'm not sure that, again, as mentioned, I'm not sure that the capital gains tax, it's big, but I'm not sure it's going to be big enough to move the market around, right? You got to understand the US economy, the US equity markets are like a runaway freight train, okay? And throwing a crypto summit in front of that doesn't really move the needle that much unless you have I don't know, unless they announce the strategic reserve or something like that at that meeting, which they're probably not going to. Anyway. Good day, Deb. Lower lows, lower. Yeah, the lower lows go. It's just, again, basically everything in crypto right now is in a downtrend. There's a few that aren't, right? Litecoin's kind of been in a range. Let's see if it stays in that range, right? Drop below the 200-day EMA may be pretty bad. But a lot of coins have been in pretty brutal downtrends for a while now, and most of them have absolutely failed to like reclaim their 20-day EMAs and stuff like that. Until we... I haven't been doing many trades recently. The ones that I have done have basically all got stopped out almost immediately because there's been no strength behind any of these bounces recently. So I probably won't be trading until I see some retakes on some 20-day EMAs for some of these coins here, because you're really just fighting the trend. Now, unless you're shorting, of course, you can be shorting like a retest of some major resistance support zones. You can do shorting of retest of the underside of some of these EMAs, which has been a pretty good strategy during the downtrend. 20-day EMA in particular has been very reflexive for a lot of these coins. But if you want to go long, then you need to wait until we see some breakouts beyond these 20-day EMAs, which is basically very few assets right now. I'm not sure I haven't watched Ben's video on Ethereum going home, so I'm not exactly sure what his thesis is behind that. If a USA Bitcoin reserve is enough to pump the market, then why would a Bitcoin summit pump? The problem with the Bitcoin reserves, very bullish news, but it doesn't happen overnight, does it? It's not like there's a bill in Congress that's about to pass. We have to actually deliberate it, put a bill together, get the House and the Senate to pass it. That shit takes time. Like that might not be until October this year or something, which kind of lines up with a 150K final rally later this year. We'll see how it goes though. Lark, how come you never talk about Caspa? Can't talk about all the coins, man. Too many damn coins out there. It's that my mental space is limited to, I don't know, the 20 blockchain ecosystems that I already sort of talk about to some level of knowledge. Opinion on ICP. I mean, look, I like the whole focus of the blockchain and AI. But other than that, I don't have an opinion on it. I haven't looked at the charts. Don't really know the fundamentals behind ICP. So no strong opinion there. So again, I can't keep track of all of them. Market always does opposite of what everyone expects. Amen to that, Ralph. Lark, do you think this crash or correction is worse than one in mid-2021? It's not worse. I mean, just categorically, it's not worse. Bitcoin went down, I think, 55% in that crash. Altcoins went down about as much as these altcoins have gone down so far this cycle. Shit. But Bitcoin has held up much stronger by comparison. And I think that's sort of your hopium thesis, that once Trump is done with all the tariff bullshit and people have time to readjust to new reality, stock markets crash down a little bit, bond yields fall, Fed starts rate cutting, all that kind of stuff. M2 money supply starts pulling markets back up a little bit. We find a good solid bottom. Then then we can see markets recover. But I don't think that this crash is worse than the mid-2021 crash by any means. That was much worse in a lot of ways. And it was completely over at that point. And then it wasn't very soon thereafter. So we could still have further to fall, guys. Okay? Just FYI. Next major support zone for Bitcoin, 75K is the major support. Under 75K, and it's lights out for a while, probably. How can we get 150K BTC if market makers keep wrecking everyone we make progress? Same thing happened in 21. And then we got $69,000 Bitcoin. Let's see. Arthur Hayes got stuck. Man, again, trading these markets has been absolutely bonkers, guys. So if you're trying to trade these markets right now, It's brutal. It's brutal. I mean, being short from, let's say, I don't know where Arthur opened his short at, but if Arthur had been short from $96,000 or something like that, or $95,000, well, he was right, but he was waiting for a 70K call. And then, of course, markets bounced back up. People got liquidated. There's been billions and billions of dollars of liquidations the past few days because people keep chasing, trying to catch the bottoms and all that kind of stuff. And look, this is like very hard trading conditions right now in the markets. For me personally, I would just like to see some better trading conditions come back in for assets to start trading back above their 20-day moving averages. And even if that's just a bigger relief rally within sort of a more bearish trend, that's at least buying into strength, trading into strength versus just throwing darts at the board and hoping that something's going to happen, which I think is what a lot of people are going on right now. Anyway. Market should not rely on someone buying a dog. What is this comment? I guess I missed something in the conversation here. Anyway. One or two more questions, guys. I want to finish up for today. Sean says, mark my words, will be the biggest and longest bull run of all time. This is the interesting thing. Again, short-term pain, long-term gain. If Trump pulls off some kind of Reagan-esque like recovery where he really does, he renegotiates the trade deals, he gets the dollar down, he gets the bond yields down, he gets the rates down without causing a horrific recession. Got to land the plane perfectly. If he does that, then maybe we pump right through 2026. And we're not in 2017 or 2021. We're actually in 2016 right now. And the early top in March 24 and the Bitcoin halving, none of that stuff really fucking matters. We're in 2016 and macro is the only thing that matters. And Trump pushing short-term pain to reignite the housing market, to reignite the US economy, to create real value, pumps markets after basically pulling off the plaster, the Band-Aid for you Americans, and essentially pumping markets like crazy. But later, M2 supply up, DXY down, all that kind of stuff, rates down. Business cycle's still looking pretty decent. Got a video coming out on that for you guys tonight, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, the short-term pain is definitely rough. We're going to go into recession, I feel. If the is it the Atlanta Fed released that GDP growth is now expected to be like minus 2.4% or some shit like that. If that's right, yep, rough. Why can't altcoins go on their own? Why is it always dumping with BTC? Well, the altcoins did kind of go on their own for a while, dumping while Bitcoin held up, ironically. Look, the simple reality is that altcoins are the farthest end of the risk spectrum. So when we talk about risk, we go from like, let's say gold, bonds, fiat, kind of lowest risk stuff, right? Then you go into the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, stuff like that. Okay, low risk indexes. Then you go into dividend stocks, stuff like that, low risk, right? You start getting risky. You go into tech stocks and stuff like that. Then you go into crypto. Bitcoin's riskier than tech stocks. Okay, higher beta. Ethereum, Solana, stuff like that, riskier than that. Riskier than that, you have big blockchains, big DeFi protocols with buyback and stuff like that to put into all that sort of stuff, right? Then you keep going down the risk spectrum. Gaming, NFTs, some DeFi, all that kind of stuff. AI agents, all that stuff, right at the far end. So that's the farthest end of the risk spectrum. So when markets start going risk off, the furthest end of the risk spectrum gets hit first. And then we back up towards the lower risk stuff. And panic keeps ensuing back along every level until we find a bottom somewhere. It's a good question. Bullish catalyst is when everyone's shorting the 125x. Depression most likely by summer. Brutal if so. If we enter a new Great Depression, geez Louise. Definitely rough sentiment on the timeline right now, without a doubt. Bigger gains and loss equals higher risk. That's true. That's true. Recession imminent hasn't started yet. Well, if the GDP growth statistics hold true, then things could still get worse before they get better, guys. So stay safe out there. Don't over leverage. Understand what's going on in the markets. Keep a lower time preference during these kind of periods. Make sure that your cash reserves are okay, that if you lose your job or something like that, you're not going to be screwed. Okay. Stay safe. Love you guys. I'll see you back tomorrow. Okay.